Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Brief Dive Podcast, where we talk about deep topics for a brief amount of time. Today, we've got Minase. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, y'all. My name is Minase, 24 years old. Came out the military last year, currently in school, but I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Today, we're talking about men's mental health. So, Minase, can you describe stereotypes and societal expectations of men and their mental health?
Okay, that's a full pack question. I think the way that I'll break it off is there's obviously the stereotypes that the society has, but there's also expectations that you need to have as a man. And I believe the expectations are things like, are you a person that's honorable? Do you have integrity? Can you be a leader in certain situations? And then I also believe about this unrealistic, I'll say the unrealistic societal standards, which is if you're not making $100,000, you're not a man. If you don't have a Lamborghini, you're not a man.
Yeah.
These society standards are, I think it's very, very weak based on how men are supposed to be. And obviously we're going to get into it, but just how it affects a lot of men's mental health, it's a huge impact on how they act and how they are today. So, yeah, there's two topics, but I definitely think it's a crazy topic to talk about.
I like when you said if you don't make six figures.
Yeah.
That's a big one. I see it everywhere on social media. Like, gotta make six figures. Gotta look this way, be this tall. And if you're not that, then you should give up or something.
Exactly.
So it's toxic. It really is.
That's fun. That's funny because I'm blessed, I guess I'll say. I'm a taller gentleman, but I have a lot of friends that are not as tall as me, and I feel like they just get looked past in society. I'm just like, dude, you have no idea what this guy's capable of. How are you basing him based on what just he looks like? So I think that's absolutely insane to me. But again, it's societal standards, and it's a huge cause for mental health.
Wait, how tall are you?
6'2", 6'3".
On Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays,
On
yeah.
Tuesdays.
6'3" on Tuesdays.
Dang. So what I have is explain why there might be a stigma on men's mental health. We could go on about this. There's a lot.
I think the stigma is just because I love this saying. I seen it a couple months ago, and it was like, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yep.
And it's like our society just so based on comparing yourself. If you don't compare yourself, then they'll be like, oh, comparing is healthy. I mean, it's healthy to compare yourself because then you need to see where you need to work up to. But that shouldn't be the epitome of who you are. Like consistently saying, oh, I'm not worthy because I don't have this, I don't have that, and you're killing yourself. So I think that stigma of comparison definitely needs a lot of like clarification.
That is so true.
Yeah.
I find myself comparing a lot.
Yeah.
And I was in a state in my life where I compared so much to the point where like I don't even know who I was. I'm like, how do I say this? I would leech off of other people that I guess in my eyes were better than me, and I didn't even know who I was at the time. And really not comparing for a good amount of time would help you like reassess who you are. And like what you're saying, like healthy competitiveness, that's okay.
Yes.
Like especially with the boys, like, oh yeah, everyone get the money up, everyone, be like healthy competitive, but sometimes we make it toxic.
Yeah. I think that toxic part is just, again, it's being taught what healthy comparison is. And I believe that can start with your communities. I mean, I think it starts from your background, like your family and stuff like that. How are they comparing with each other, especially like uncles to uncles or aunts to aunts? Like, how is that working? And then you can also see it to like your community. Like, how is your community comparing each other? Like, I remember when I was younger, I used to have a lot of like insecurities, and most of my insecurities, now that I'm grown, I look at it, it was all because of comparison. It wasn't necessarily because I was lackluster in one aspect of my life. That's not what it was. It was just I was comparing myself, and I just felt like I was unworthy compared to other people. You know what I'm saying? But like, again, comparison is a good thing, but when it is taught correctly and when it's understood correctly, if you're making it just the framework of who you are, sooner or later, it's going to be your downfall. It's definitely going to be your downfall, and you're not going to get to the place that you once aspired to be.
In terms of like why men, like what was the question? Explain like why there might. Okay, so in terms of why there might be a stigma though for men, I believe that we're taught that we have to be thick, strong, um, motionless, and the whole idea of like stoicism.
Yes.
I think a lot of people get that mixed up. They think of it as like bottling up and being emotionless, but I think it's a really good practice.
Yes.
It's in terms of like you have a it is what it is mentality, and it's like, okay, this is life, like knowing what to control, knowing what you can control, and really knowing that. I think that's kind of where stoicism is under. Instead of just bottling up emotions, it's more of knowing that emotions just pass, and knowing that like you can watch it from like afar and like disassociating from that.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. One thing, as you were saying, one thing that came to my head was the whole idea of like being nonchalant. I think it's funny because for me, being nonchalant is actually being a lot like emotional. Because in order for you to be nonchalant, you have to fully get rid of all your feelings. And in reality, that means that you are an emotional person. But like for me, it's like, how do you deal with your feelings? How do you yes, society says that you're supposed to be strong, which you are supposed to be strong as a man, right? You're not supposed to be a weak man. You're not supposed to be out here like not having what the man is, But at the same time, it's like you got to know that men also have emotions, and this whole ideology of, oh, it is what it is, I don't really care. Oh man, I'm just a big macho man. Eventually, again, it's in my opinion, it's you're more emotional than the person that actually shares their emotions, because that person is trying to get to a conclusion. Well, in reality, you're stuck with all these bottled up feelings. Because have you heard the saying, like, when somebody says I don't care, they really care. They really do care. And like, you wouldn't have to exemplify you don't care if you care. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't care. So if you're saying I don't care, then in reality you do care, because you're trying to make people see that, oh, I don't care, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So it's a funny thing, because like, if you don't care, just deal with it and talk to people about it and finish it over. You don't have to walk in here talking about, oh man, I don't care, I'm a strong man, it is what it is. In reality, like, you're emotional, it's okay. Like, you can speak, and that's what I'm trying to get to, is the fact that you can speak about it. There's people definitely here that's or around you that's willing to talk to you about it, So yeah, it's a crazy thing, man.
You'll be surprised how many guys I know that don't know how to deal with like emotions.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly a lot. It's a scary amount.
We're not taught it. That's the thing. We're not taught how to deal with our feelings. And again, there's a difference between identifying what your issue is and completely not knowing what your issue is. And I feel like when you don't know what your issue is, that's when you start becoming nonchalant and everything is bottled up. But once you start bringing stuff up at face value and face it, I think you will be a lot less, number one, mentally free, but you would also be a lot less, like, not pretty much feeling like you're not able to do things and stuff like that. So I believe all men need to be taught how to deal with their emotions healthily, like help with a healthy mindset, and know that just because you come up to your homeboy, that your girl just broke up with you or something, it doesn't make you any less of a man. Everybody has feelings at the end of the day. Everybody has feelings, and that's something that needs to be taught. Truly,
the part where you said face it, that's literally the part, like letting it surface up, and like that's the part where we choose not to, like what most men choose not to do, because letting it surface up means that we actually do feel those emotions, and because as men we bottled up a lot, so we don't want to open up that cage. Who knows what's gonna come out of that cage?
Yeah.
So, like, that's just where we stop. What could someone do? Like, what could you tell to someone to like open that cage for the first time in a long time and like actually feel those emotions? And that's something I've been struggling with a lot lately. Just I had like a toxic positivity mindset for a long time where like, okay, I feel sad for like 30 minutes, but that's it.
Okay.
But like I didn't really understand the whole idea of like emotions, that like you could still feel sad in progress. You could still feel sad in waves, like, and come back and forth. Just because you're sad doesn't mean you haven't moved on. It's just like these are just emotions, like knowing that they're temporary. So I guess the question for you is like, what can you say to those, to people who are like ashamed of letting those emotions like surface up?
So for me, the first thing I'll say is identifying what the issue is. So you have to identify within yourself what the issue is before you ask for help. Because if you're trying to ask somebody for help and you're not really understanding where you need help at, it's very hard for that person to know where to help you at. So I think the first thing would definitely have to be identifying the issue, whether it is anything. I don't really. It's not about what your issue is. It's just about identifying what the issue is. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be something small, like I don't know, like somebody cut you off and you got super mad. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But and then my second thing would definitely have to be finding individuals that you can trust, individuals that you know have your back. And I think everybody has this. People walk around with this ideology that, oh, I don't have anybody to help me. I don't have this. Trust me, there are people that care for you. Somebody that cares for your presence. Somebody that's always. I'm not saying everybody cares about you. You're not the main character of everybody's life, but you are. Some people are aware of you, and it's all about finding who those people are. For example, I have a lot of people that I work with at work that I know that I can go ahead and talk to about my situation. And then there's people at church. And then, of course, there's people in my family. There's family that I can talk to about. So first thing definitely is identifying the issue. Second thing is finding a group of people or a person that you can open up to. And then the third thing is you're not going to open up to everybody. You know, being vulnerable, I think it should be selective to certain individuals. Don't be vulnerable to everybody, because then I'll put you as a vulnerable human, you know. But just identifying the issue, talking to people that you trust, and at the end is just talking about the issue, and then that's it, and see a solution. And if not a solution, then everything will go in due time. And
We feel like we can't open it, like step 2 when you said find that person.
yeah,
And as obvious as like I'm sure there is someone that cares about you. We don't think that. We think that the second we open up to someone, they're gonna think differently of us. And I can guarantee you, all men, like a lot of guys watching right now, I can guarantee you, you have opened up to someone, and you have been shut down, rejected, ridiculed, accused, or just anything. Like, you've been shut down at least once in your life for opening up, and maybe that was the turning point, or one of the turning points that like led you away from finding people easily that you can trust, or like it just clouds your judgment on who you can trust in terms of opening up. So that's a hard part for me.
that is a hard part. That's the really hard part. Is that second part is hard. I mean, it sounds as easy as it sounds. It really is a hard part, because I think people nowadays are not open to receiving other people's problems, because they are also going through problems. So they would rather have people deal with them. And like, everybody's the main character of their own life.
That's so true.
Everybody has a
That's
main
so
character
true.
syndrome, and everybody's worried about me at all times. But I think how we have to better, I guess, in society-wise is, society doesn't start with a group of people. It starts with you and how you go ahead and carry yourself. How are you for another person? Do you open up for another person? Are you receptive to what they got to say? And although you are going through issues, yes, but that person also relies on somebody. Can you be that reliable person? Can you have integrity? Can you have that honorability human that you want to be, or as a man that you want to be like? Are you that person? And I think once we start, everybody starts with themselves. The problem doesn't start with a group of people. It starts with individually. So once you are dealing with your individual, how are you towards other people, then I think it's way more easier for people to accept you, because it's like a whole chain reaction.
To like be the best friend, so best friends can come to you.
Yes. And then once they realize, let's say that there's absolutely nobody that's in your life, right? Go ahead and realize that somebody also does need someone. Everybody needs somebody. But it's like that your friend that probably acts like they don't care, go there for them. Be there. Be that person for them. And I promise you that love will be vice versa. They will also show that towards you, if depending on the type of people that you're hanging out with. Because not everybody is like that. But the majority of people can be like that if you're willing to take the first step. Because somebody in their mind is probably thinking, man, this guy don't really care about me, so I'm not going to care about him. But in reality, if you show that first step that you do care about him, then he might care about your situation back. So yeah, that opening up, it's definitely a hard part. It's a huge part. But again, everything starts with yourself. Everything starts with yourself and identifying, back to what I was saying, identifying your issues, knowing maybe sometimes a lot of issues can be dealt with yourself. Not everything, but sometimes a majority of issues can be dealt by yourself. And I think once those issues are handled, for example, I'm thinking these issues are like anxiety. Anxiety a lot of times is a perspective thing. Yeah. It's not like, when you walk into a room, you're feeling everybody's looking at you. But in reality, nobody's worried about you. Like, everybody's on their own timing.
It's the spotlight effect.
Yeah. That's what it's called. And it's like I used to feel that way. Like, whenever I walked into a room, I was like, oh my God, like, what do these people think about me? But then I fully realized everybody has something that they're going through that they're not worried about necessarily you come into the room, So just thinking about yourself, starting with you, and then being that, I guess, that healthy bacteria and spreading towards others. It's almost like a tree. So that's how I would say if in that situation when there's nobody to open up to. Yeah.
Okay. Social media. Describe the portrayal of young men's mental health in social media. This is something I want to get into.
Okay. Social media, stay off of it as much as you can. As long as you don't have, like if you got a business, and if you got family that don't own phones or something. I mean, if you don't own a phone, I mean, how would you have social media, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, and as much as you can, I would say stay off social media. I'm not on social media. The reason why I choose not to be on social media is because, quick story. So when I was in high school, I used to be a very materialistic person, super materialistic. I'm talking about the new Jordans came out. I had to buy it because I had to be the guy that wore it in school on Mondays. I was out there camping in front of Foot Locker.
You're one of those people?
Yes, I was one of those people. I was out there camping in front of Foot Locker trying to get these shoes, or I'd be on that website waiting like until the clock went down so I can go ahead and order these shoes. And the reason why that was because that validated me. That was like my stamp. I was like, as long as I got these new shoes and these new clothes, then I'm like a good person. And then what I would do is I would get all these new shoes and new clothes, and I'll take a picture on it, and I would post on Instagram. And people will comment the gorilla emoji, the fire emoji, and all that stuff. And, that builds your ego. And you realize that your ego is not really built on social media. I mean, it's built on social media and nothing else. Your personality is built on social media and nothing else. I know a lot of people that get off of social media and they don't know themselves.
Really?
Yes. I know a lot of people off of social media, they're like almost like robots, bro. Like if you was to talk to them in person, like they can't hold a conversation longer than 5 minutes because they're so stuck on this online personality.
I never knew that.
There's people that's like that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Actually, I did know that. Sorry, but yeah.
I was on campus this one time, bro, and I was sitting next to this one guy because I was waiting to go to my next class, and I just sat next to him and I started talking to him, and he had the most insane social anxiety I've ever seen before. And what I realized was like people are so stuck on this society standards and social media and all the stuff that they like the whole outreach of the actual world is eliminated. And with the new invention of the Apple Vision Pro stuff,
oh my gosh, yeah.
That's literally getting rid of all social communication. Now everything's gonna be social media, and outside is it's done.
Do you think that's gonna grow?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's almost like I would say, what was something like the AirPods when the AirPods were made? Remember everybody had the wire ones?
Yeah.
I was just like, dang, bro, like these ones are so expensive. But then now, like everybody has AirPods. I think it's gonna be something like that. When you first see it, like, oh my God, like it's so cool. But then in a little bit, I feel like everybody's gonna have it, and society is gonna be a huge robot, just walking around, not trying to communicate with anybody, but staying an online personality rather than a real personality. So that's what I think about social media.
Social media tells us that, I mean, obviously the whole like show no emotions, don't do this, don't do that. But there's also a side that's like darkness is good, being cold is good, being rude to other people is good.
Like the Batman
The whole
meme?
Batman thing, yeah.
Yeah, the Batman meme.
I don't like that. I think we all have periods of times where like we need to be like that just to survive through whatever we're going through. But as in general, that is not the way to go. In my opinion.
Social media has a false expectations of what reality is supposed to be. There's a false there's just this false things that people deem as it being real. Like for example, I do have TikTok. Sorry, I forgot to mention. I do have a TikTok.
You still have social media. TikTok?
I don't really.
That's
I don't
like the social media.
I don't have Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I don't got what else? Twitter. I don't have that.
Yeah.
The only reason
We
why I
got
have
TikTok.
the reason why I have TikTok is because, I can't completely stay out the loop. You know, I can't be a Grant out here walking. But yeah, so I do have TikTok, but I'm barely on it though. I'm barely on it. I was watching a video about this one kid, and he was actually yelling at his mom because he seen that.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, he was yelling at his mom because his friend or something that he seen online wasn't like equating to how he was living his life, and I was just like, wow, like so this how the standards have become now. It's what you see online has to be a reality.
Yeah.
And if it's not a reality, then you're not made out. You're not cut out. And that messes up a lot of mentalities because then you feel like you're not enough. You're not worth it, that you don't really have any type of being validated in any aspect. But that's how it is. I think social media is the poison for this society if it's not used for correct cases. Because I do believe if you have a business, how are you going to reach people?
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. If you have something going on that you need to repeat the masses, social media is fantastic. But if it's something that you're just using to impress people and to validate yourself with, you're gonna be lost in the sauce soon rather than later. Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna be that video. I thought you were talking about another video of how like a kid was just complaining to his mom, and then the dad came in and then like put him in his place. But not like, you know, but he just commanded him to do something.
Yeah,
just saying,
I
like,
know
the
that video you're talking
importance
about. Nah.
of dads, but
yeah, that was I seen that video too. But the video I was talking about was that kid that he was just yelling at his mom because whatever he seen online did not match with how his life was.
yeah,
Like I think it was like some like with the game system or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this kid is probably like 5 years old and already stuck in the social media loop, not knowing how when he gets older, it's really gonna mess with him how he becomes as a man. And again, it's an inevitably changing world. So what we have to do is live by it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say necessarily be lost in the sauce, but identify what this is and just live by it. Live how you think that life should be lived as. And in reality, the way that life should be lived at is how we see things and what makes sense to us.
Yeah.
And what's right. And a lot of us know what's right, but we still don't choose to do it, you know?
Have you seen Vinland Saga?
No, I have not.
Dang it. It's like the whole epitome of just like men, of how like men, there's a main character named Thorfinn. I think that's his name, right? Vinland Saga, Thorfinn. Yeah. In the beginning, he's just all like violent because like he's trying to avenge his father that got killed. I think so. And then a lot later, he turns into like, you know, peaceful and like he talks about true strength is in love. True strength isn't in like hatred or anger.
Yeah.
All the things that have been marketed right now.
Yeah.
True strength is like the learning how to channel that anger, learning how to show those emotions in to some extent. I'm not saying go cry around, go be.
Yeah, don't
like,
do that.
I don't want people to think that this is what we're trying to say, you know. But yeah, I thought I was trying to have a whole conversation on Vinland. So, do you watch anime?
No, I don't. I don't watch anime. I try to watch anime, but I just haven't been attracted with a certain anime. I did watch. I don't want to say I've never watched anime, but I did watch Demon Slayer. I've seen that.
Heard of that. Yeah.
I've seen Naruto. the whole thing. But yeah,
The whole
all
thing?
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was on deployment, bro, for 8 months, bro. I had nothing to do. I was on a ship. I had nothing to do but watch TV shows and stuff like that. So I ended up watching it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really. I took the recommendation. I'll watch it now though.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I watch. Like, I can't publicly say I watch anime. That's literally all I watch. But it's done. I mean, next season should be coming. I don't know. Next question. So, so how does social media affect young men seeking professional help? I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
There's two things. You and I'm sure we have immigrant parents.
Yes.
Professional help, I don't think that's something that was warmly welcomed.
Stated in us, yeah.
And I don't know how they are with you for now, like your parents. But for me now, I think they kind of got the they kind of understood that, okay, over here, mental health is very important because society is just overstimulating. Society is just crazy. So taking care of your mind is very important.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of men don't really know.
So actually, I got like a quick story about that. I didn't actually go to therapy until I was 20 years old. That was the first time I went to therapy. And the reason was, like you said, it's not really stated in us, like becoming from immigrant parents. But I was in the military when I had to go. And I went, and I remember just going in there, and I was like, wow, like, it's nice, you know? Like, it's nice. Just letting people know, like, dumping it on that person, and they're willing to help you. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody needs therapy in their life.
I agree.
I think if you don't need it now, you're gonna need it later. You know, and if you've already done it, then you're probably gonna need it again later on in life. But I think the shunning of therapy and talking, seeking help is, it's idiotic. You need to go seek therapy if you feel it. And these people, genuinely, I know some real therapists that will help you. And of course,
people don't know that. But
yeah, like that's literally what they're there for. And some of them even take this as a legitimate thing, and it's not even something that they're getting paid to do. Of course, they're getting paid to do it, but it's like they care about it, you know, and they care about your mental health. So yeah, I think everybody should seek therapy sometime in their life. If you don't need it now, probably later on in life, and if you've already done it, then just go again, you know. You're not weak if you go to therapy. Whoever tells you that, they're probably messed up in the head. Just saying. But
I've had experience in therapy, bad experience, good experience, and I'm a big believer in, okay, you shouldn't open up to every single person you meet.
that's good.
But you also shouldn't hide everything from everyone you meet.
Yes.
And the good thing about therapy is that it's kind of in the middle. You have someone that you could open up to and that kind of knows what to do, and you could just open up to just them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to open up to all the other people that you don't feel comfortable opening up to. So that's like the cool part.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That kind of goes on to what I was saying. Remember, I don't think you need to be vulnerable to everybody.
Yeah.
No. Being vulnerable to everybody it's actually a really not smart way of talking about your health, your mental health and stuff like that. But like you said, I don't think you should hide things from people either. Like, just, you know, you when somebody asks you, like, how are you doing? What's the regular, like, answer?
Good,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you know what I say to people sometimes? Do you really want to know? That's what I say. Do you really want to know? Because that question, how are you doing, is a question like, how are you? But people just pass that off as, like, good. If somebody, I'm not saying everybody asking you how you doing wants to hear that, but the reason why I say that is because it opens them to a different reality. Why are you asking this question if you don't know what the answer might be sometimes? But in society, we're so accustomed to just saying good, everything's okay. Then that's what you're always going to keep saying. But sometimes as a joke, I'll be like, do you really want to know?
Yeah.
And then people will be like, oh, sure. Like, yeah, like, do you want to go get some coffee? And dude, I'm like, oh, dang, this person actually really cares, you know?
Yeah.
So it's funny. It's funny. But yeah, I don't think you should be vulnerable to everybody. But don't be like Batman, you know? Don't try to be all discreetful and all like walking life and the mysteries and stuff. Like, no, don't do that, because you're only shunning yourself.
Batman also has what's his butler's name? Alfred.
Alfred.
Yeah, so
Alfred.
he has Alfred to talk to,
Exactly.
and then out in the outside he could be Batman.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the best Batman he.
That
could
is
be.
how it is, though. Literally, Alfred is his like.
His best friend.
Yeah, his best friend. Like, he literally goes at him and tells him all his issues.
Yeah.
And then he's out there to do what you gotta do. I like the Flash, bro.
Flash.
Yeah. That's my favorite superhero.
Okay, if I were to pick, Marvel or DC.
Okay, I do have one for each. For DC, would probably be 100% Flash.
Okay.
And then for Marvel, probably the Hulk, bro.
The Hulk?
Yeah.
Why?
Not because of like he's big or anything, nah. Bro, he can fight like King Kong, bro. Like, what?
Bro, he lost the King Kong.
But still, he
bro,
can fight
King Kong
him,
is this. Hulk is this.
Well, Hulk is
getting
strong,
demolished.
Bro. Hulk is strong, bro.
You gotta find another person. King Kong is done.
Okay, all right. Who does he usually fight? Thanos, right? He fought Thanos.
He got demolished.
Thanos had the gauntlet ring. Yes.
It made him Yeah, Thanos beat him like in a fist fight.
Man, I still think the Hulk is like that. Or Iron Man. I'll go for Iron Man too.
Rest in peace.
I'm not going for Spider-Man.
Why?
Definitely not, because that's everybody's favorite.
You should speak to the mic because people should know this.
Oh, that's everybody's favorite. I think Spider-Man, he's mid. Not gonna lie, because I think he can get crushed by any.
Really?
Yes. Like, I think the middest DC superhero will crush Spider-Man. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Captain America, he's up there, but not my favorite. Thor. I'll go for Thor.
Okay, Thor's powerful.
Thor is good, yeah. Thor is good. I'll go for if I had to do my top 5 DC, probably Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him in a minute. Silver Surfer, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like number 1, bro.
What's his power?
But he can go through like galaxies and like
bro just
dimensions.
Surfs.
Bro is nice. Like, you can't catch him ever.
Okay,
like,
what you gonna do? Like,
he can never get caught. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
so him,
I see.
Definitely Superman. 3rd would be Batman. 4th, Flash, and 5th, probably Green Lantern, bro.
Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Okay, explain.
Green Lantern is nice, bro. That ring is something crazy.
What does he do? He just moves green stuff. He stepped down?
Oh, yeah, he's nice, bro. Green Lantern is nice. All right, Marvel, number 1. Definitely got to be for me. Number 1 would be like Thor or Iron Man, like either or. 2nd, Captain America. 3rd, I'll give it to Spider-Man. 4th, what's that chick that can move telekinesis?
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, yeah, she's like that. And then 5th, Hulk, bro.
Okay.
Hulk, man.
For me, it's Captain America, because I get a lot of hate for this. I only just like him just like character wise, and he can pick up Thor's hammer too. I think he did
a little bit. He picked it up a
little bit.
He was little worthy,
bro. And did you not see the ending?
Did he pick it up?
Yeah, he picked it up. He swung it, and then he just.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
Bro's got leadership capabilities. Bro's like Spider-Man. He's alright.
He's mid.
Hulk, I think he's pretty mid.
No, he's not, bro.
Okay, he only clutched up in like the Ultron one, where he just like stopped.
Ever since he was able to control it, bro, he's like that. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I think every superhero lineup needs a Hulk.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
so he
Hulk
has to
by
be
himself.
in top 5 by himself. I'll still give it to him by himself. I personally think. No, I was about to say something wild.
What are you gonna say?
I was about to say Iron Man and Hulk. I think Iron Man will punish Hulk.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh wait, why am I saying really? Yeah, I just used to saying really. Yeah,
Iron Man will definitely
I
punish
agree.
Hulk. Yeah, but yeah, that's my superhero. I'm not really a superhero guy. I mean, low-key I am. Low-key I am. But it's all right, though.
We could go back. Guys, we just side tangent. Do you have any personal stories that you could share to other young men that this could help?
Yeah, so
I like how we just like changed from like Avengers and
yeah.
okay.
But I was, like I said, I was in the military. I was specifically in the Marine Corps. Great time there. But one thing that I realized while I was in there was how much of a robot you would need in order to get certain work or missions like accomplished. And I kind of grew like accustomed to that, where like the way that you are feeling really doesn't matter. It comes second to the job, which in society nowadays we're told that it's all about your mental health. Like if a job doesn't follow up with your mental health, you should leave. I definitely agree with that, because at the end of the day, companies are not paying you for your mental health. But like I said, I loved my time in the military. I think it was an eye-opening experience, but I have nothing bad to say about the military. But the one thing that I would have to say, a personal story, was just how much I was secluded about my mental health. And believe it or not, in the military, the biggest traditions is like drinking and smoking like cigarettes. And that's like the biggest tradition. And like people would like long for Fridays and Saturdays, because Monday through Friday, they're just so drained that they don't want to, like, I know some people that used to drink every night because they wanted to escape reality. Yeah, and it was a crazy thing. Every single night they were getting plastered, wasted, because they wanted to escape reality. And then they wake up and they realize that they're still in the same hole that they're in. And of course, you're in the military, you're in the Marine Corps. Are you really going to go cry out for help? Although there are resources for you to go do that, since they are Marines, they don't take that resource. And I've seen some people that have been in AA. I've seen some people that went to the hospital because of drinking too much, because of them trying to escape reality. So like pretty much what I started noticing was like, you always have to find a way to escape reality rather than face reality. That's what I knew about the military. And like Mondays through Fridays, you're stressing about things, and then Fridays and Saturdays was a day to let loose. And that's when a lot of people used to get DUIs and things like that, because they're so stressed all week long without nobody to talk to. Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes, then they act like animals. You know what I'm saying? And it's the harsh reality of it. But I was also victim to that. I was also a victim to that. I remember I used to wait till the weekends to just get plastered, wasted. And the reason why that was because I was scared to come up to my staff sergeant or my gunnery sergeant and be like, hey, Gunny, like, on Monday, can I go to therapy? Or can I go to the therapy office? And I was scared for them to be like, man, what you need therapy for, man? And stuff like that, you know, and like what they say, kind of like what you were talking about. So instead, what I did was I was just like, man, I'm finna go deal with it myself. And all that did was lead me into a hole, a consistent hole. And it was a rabbit hole that I kept on digging and digging and digging and digging. Yeah. And it was so hard to see the light out. Yeah. And then it wasn't until, like I said, the time that I went to therapy and I started talking to this wonderful lady. There? Yeah, over there. Her name was Jennifer. Shout out Jennifer. She sees it. But I started talking to her, and she really opened my mind up to, like, people do care, man, if you seek help. People genuinely do care if you seek help. But of course, again, not everybody is going to be there for you, but there are people that will genuinely, and it's the people that you least expect too. Yes, I remember my roommate, I don't know, my roommate, bro, would care about my situations until I told him about it.
Really?
I swear. I used to live with that guy for 2.5 years. Every day. We was living together, and that's it. Like, we never really talked about, of course you talk like your friends and you talking and stuff like that, but deeply talking about how you is, like how's your mental health and stuff, we never did until this one time. I was just like, man, let me talk to him about it. Let me see how he is. Broken, like, he took all of it in, bro. And he started, like, helping me with resources. I remember there's a time he was just like, hey, man, like, bro, like, let's go ahead and let's go to the park, man. Let's go fishing. And I was just like, dang, all right, let's go fishing, man. So we went fishing and stuff like that. So it's like all about reaching out, I think. And that's the personal story that I want to share is I was stuck in that rabbit hole, but because I seeked help, somebody was able to pull me out of that rabbit hole. And I was able to make sense of everything that I was going through. And it was Jennifer, and my roommate's name was Cornell Salinas, W. Mans. W. Mans, I'm telling you, good guy. Yeah, and those two people really helped me out. And then obviously I got out, and now I'm mentally, in a way better space than I was in there. Of course, you're separated from your family there. There's no family, and you're by yourself. But when I got back, I was able to take what they helped me with and relate like to my family, And now that if my sister needs help, I will be able to help her. Not with everything, yeah, not with everything, because obviously she's a female and I'm a male. Our issues might be a little bit different. But like the basis of it, like I'll let her know like I'm here for her.
Yeah.
And she's also there for me if I wanted to talk to her about it. So I think that's my personal story I wanted to share, man. Yeah.
That's a good relationship, because many people with their family, like they're not even close. Like no.
Oh
emotion.
yeah.
Like how you have with your roommate.
Yeah.
That's literally how some households are.
Yeah.
So I've had moments where I've kept something from someone and then like I open up and I'm surprised at how they respond. And I've had the opposite, where I would expect someone who'd be good at this.
Yeah.
I've opened up and it's like I get shut down and they're just like, why are we talking about this? And yeah, I've given my I'm sure you have too. You've given your trust to, I'm not going to speak for you. I've given my trust to people who no, like I can't trust them again. And that's why I've kept my circle, my bubble of emotions so tight, because I was very scared of just like how people would think of me, how people would see me. Am I less of a man by opening up and seeking professional help? And like what you said with your roommate, it's really just the boys. Sometimes hanging with the boys is like pure medicine. Like that's
it
like
is. Sometimes it is though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, like fishing, and I feel like that's what we need.
Yeah, like going out. I think sometimes like whenever you're in a funk, just reach out to somebody. Be like, yo, what you doing? Or if you're in a place where you don't want to be at, just reach out to somebody. If you got 10 people in your phone, reach all of them out. Be like, yo, what y'all trying to do? Where you going? What's going on this weekend and stuff like that. So you're able to like at least not isolate yourself, because I think the biggest and that's one thing I also want to talk about is isolation and how that really affects your mental health. Like that would be the downfall of your mental health if you are isolating yourself. And when you realize that when you're consistently just covering everything and just kind of like how we talked about the Batman mentality, when you keep on moving towards that and moving towards isolation, you're going to be in a place where you don't want to be because you're alone. And it's men are not supposed to be alone at all. Meaning, don't be alone. Don't be by yourself. There's always somebody there. Include yourself with somebody. Find your group of people. I'm not saying be friends with everybody, because I don't think you can't be friends with everybody, but you can find a group of people that have the same ideology as you, maybe the same career field or what you guys want to do, maybe sports, maybe like interests like video games and stuff like that. And to find that group of people and build a good circle with them, a good clique. And then sometimes they can be what gets you out of your funk, and you don't know when they're gonna really, really help out.
Yeah, I just completely agree. I can't think of like what I could bring to the table. Personal experience. There's a good one and there's a bad one. I'm gonna say a good one. Dang, this is sad. I can't think of a good one. I've always thought like going to therapy was just society. I don't know what my head thought. I just thought it wasn't good. Like, this isn't gonna take me anywhere. It's like just not manly. And I've just learned the past couple months that this is probably like the best thing I could do for myself, and really taking charge of okay, this is like, how do I say this? There's being self-aware, and then there's like knowing that like, okay, you have an issue and like you should do something about it, and being,
Yeah.
what's the word called? Like you have
Responding.
self-responding, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
like
use that.
a lot of men should try to be more self-responding.
Yeah.
And if you ask a guy how he's feeling, there's a lot of, there's either a lot and there's like nothing. You know, I don't know how to explain it.
And you know what's actually so funny? Like I know there's people that genuinely believe that men have an easy life. I know there's like genuinely people that believe that, and it mostly comes obviously from the opposite gender. But the thing is, like, it's because we make it seem like we have everything right, but in reality, we really don't. Everybody goes through stuff, but it's all about the vulnerability. And of course, we talked about how we have to be careful with that. But being respondent about your situation and letting that open, I think it will clear up a lot of ideologies that's being thrown out nowadays. Like for example, like I was talking to an individual, and she was like, all men have to worry about is, oh, what car am I gonna get? What clothes am I gonna wear? What, oh, that girl's pretty. Oh, what food am I gonna eat? And I'm just like, wow, like, it's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not that easy as you think it is, and that's because we make it look like that. But
yeah, sorry. Continue.
But in reality, it's not like that. It's way deeper than that. But it's all about, like I said, responding about yourself, being self-respondent, and just tell. Not everything. Don't be whiny, man, because that's not gonna look good for you, even in the job field. But let alone society. But
and we're not here saying that men have it worse. Let's just get that out.
Oh, no.
We're saying that like, both genders, you know.
Yeah, both genders have
pros and cons.
Pros and cons, and both genders have issues and problems. That's why I said I'm not able to link fully with my sister, but I can sympathize with her and empathize with her. And that's because she's a human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what matters.
It does.
At the end. So, yes, there's certain a woman and a man are not going to have the same, like, issues, but it's like we're all human at the end of the day, and that's what I'm trying to get to. And, yeah, it's all right. You don't got to be Batman. Trust me. You don't have to be Batman. It's all right. You can let off the throttle real quick. You know, you don't have to go full boost. You can let off. You can be on the passenger side for a little bit, maybe for a couple of days, and then go back on the driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just being very self-aware of yourself is very important.
There's like a lot of guys is literally just, okay, I'm feeling sad. Go to gym, hang out with boys.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But there's a lot of stuff in between that we should do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sitting with ourselves, really knowing how we're feeling, really knowing the root cause of it. And just like, there's a lot of stuff in between that we tend to miss. But we only think of gym and hang out with the boys. But really, sometimes that's all we need.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. But
it depends, yeah.
There are moments where, you know, the stuff in between we tend to forget and overlook.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. But I want to say another personal experience. Cause I feel like I've had I was speaking to an individual, and I've had us distance because of just the lack of trust. And as this conversation's going, you know that like I've had a big issue with just letting myself be open to people and trusting people. Because I feel like I've just been let down a lot, but that's something I shouldn't overlook. Why am I like? I feel like I'm yapping right now, but I shouldn't let that overlook like who I meet. Like I shouldn't let that stop me from opening up to more people. Yeah. Is what I'm saying. I've had a moment where that lack of trust and that fear of not looking manly has gotten in the way of me speaking to an individual, and it actually got us further apart. And I found that the more me I am, in the whole like being yourself thing, take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, like don't just like cry in front of everyone.
Yeah.
But being yourself is probably like the manliest thing you could be.
That's good. That's
They're
good.
being like emotionless and like that's not really gonna get you anywhere other
Yeah.
than just looking cool in the moment. And yeah,
And that's kind of like, remember what I said, like, it's the people that say that they don't care that care the most.
that's true.
And that's because they're worried about their exterior shell, but in reality, in the inside, they're super hollow. Like there's no yolk, it's just shell. And that shell, you hit it once, and it's broken. And they're trying to protect that outside shell, but in reality, because their inside is it's not filled, you know. And that's one thing I would say is like, don't try to be nonchalant about your mental health, and don't try to be like just so super quiet about and mysterious about your mental health, because it doesn't make you look tough. I don't think it does. It doesn't at all. And but what in reality what it does is it's keeping, like, it's putting a puncture wound in you, and it's putting like this hole that's getting slowly widened because of,
Is that a word?
yeah,
tripping.
slowly wide, or it gets wide because of certain or things that might come into your, like, every single issue. All it's gonna do is just open up that hole bigger and bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually you're gonna be shallow inside, and that sucks. That really sucks.
What is your way of like just destigmatizing this whole thing? Like I know we said everything, but step by step.
Step by step. First, again, is identifying the issue. And number two is knowing that social media and this online life is not real life, completely not real life. It's all fabricated, and it's not true. So don't hold yourself up to that standard, but hold yourself up according to what's going on in your life. So everybody, you know that saying that everybody goes on their own race. Everybody has their own race. And if you are slow and steady at it, you're going to get to that finish line. Kind of like that turtle in the hair story. Instead of trying to do all these side missions and stuff like that because you're seeing other people doing it, go ahead and just focus on your race. Focus on what's at the end goal. And then that sometimes may eliminate a lot of the mental issues that you might have. Because, again, mental issues start with you not feeling enough, you feeling like you have nothing to offer the world or offer yourself. But that can mostly be eliminated, like I said, by being very just steady with your walk in life, and that everybody has their own pace. Just because you don't have a Lamborghini right now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have it in the next 20 years. Just because your homeboy got motion right now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have motion within the next 6 months, a year, 2 years. So everybody's running their own race, and that's one thing that I kind of want to harp on is, yes, identify your issue. Know that you're running your own race. Know that there's people out here to help you. There's people out here that's legitimately open, just like my personal story about my roommate. Lived with him for 2.5 years. When I decided to open up to him, super receptive about what I was saying. There's people that's willing to help you. And then number 4 is that you don't have to walk like you are a tough macho human. There is grace for your issues, and there is grace for people that's trying to help you with that. So that's pretty much what I would have to say. And then at the end, it's all about time. You know, time fixes everything. I truly believe in that. And as time goes, you're gonna gain more knowledge, more wisdom, and because I promise you, things that you're stressing about today, 10 years from now, you're gonna look back at it and be like, wow, like, it's not even that serious. But the thing is, again, everything is perspective. That means it's your vision and what you're looking at it right now. So yes, nothing is downplayed, but always realize that time always fixes things. And that's what I'll have to say about how to break the stigma.
for me, what I have to say is find at least one or two people. You don't have to have a handful. Just find one or two people that you can fully trust being open with. It could be your mom, your dad, your sibling, a good friend, a counselor, I don't know. But open up. Don't be afraid to open up. And try to rewire your brain into thinking that opening up to the right people is helping you become more of a man and not less of one.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that hanging out with the boys is like true medicine.
It is.
So do that
It is.
when you can. Obviously have that grieving period or have that period where you open up, feel sad, let your emotions come in waves. But in terms of like getting back out there, try. Do you recommend people opening up to the boys? What do you think about that? Like they have a group of friends that are guys. Who do you think they should open up to?
I think my question, I'll ask with a counter question. What do you call friends?
Okay.
Who would you call friends? I think for me, friends would be like people that's a ride or die, like that's willing to deal with the situation just like how you're going through it. They might not necessarily be going through it, but they're helping you like they are. And I think that's what true friendship for me is. It's the ability to kind of look at yourself or look outside of yourself and look for the people that's in front of you. That's what friendship is. It's not necessarily all about yourself. So if you're hanging out with people like that, people that are selfless and more worried about your friend group and what you guys got going on and being helpful, and of course it's all a full circle thing. It's not just one person is doing this and the rest don't care about what you got going on. But if everybody in that group is like that, then yes, I think you should open up to them. 100%. I think a lot of your friends will be willing to help you. A lot of your friends are, again, they're not gonna help you with unrealistic things. Like if you're $1 million in debt and you're asking your homeboy, yo, can I get $1 million? I don't think it's gonna work out.
Yeah, brother, you got that one.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, man, you got that. You know, I can show you how to ask for a loan. He can say that, but yeah, I think just opening up to your true friends, people that, and that can be a whole different topic about how to identify true friends. But I think a lot of friend groups now are willing to be receptive to that. I do believe so.
How do you identify a true friend? Because I'm curious, like, what's your view on that?
True friend for me is somebody that's selfless, somebody that's always putting themselves in the light of others. And I'm not saying be like a rag out here being used up, but it's
like emotional sponge or something.
Yeah, don't do that. No, because of course you gotta always take care of yourself. Like I said earlier, It all starts with you. But a true friend for me is somebody that you can go to with no conviction, somebody that you can go to with and the best friends usually are the friends that tell you advice that you don't want to hear. Those are the best friends. Those are the good friends. I know some people, I was going through some stuff and they tell me something I completely don't want to hear at that moment. But the reality is they don't want to feed my ego. They want to tell me what I need to hear. That's also a good friend for me. So somebody that's, of course, it's a vice versa thing, but somebody that's selfless and you also become selfless to them. Somebody that's true, somebody that has morals and principles, somebody that's not willing to cross that, somebody that's not like kind of like wishy-washy, somebody that's consistent in your life, somebody that's willing to see you improve and not be jealous about it. Because I know a lot of people, you improve a life and then they're like, dang, what about me? I can't mess with bro now because he up and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? They're hating on you. But people that'll be on the background like, yo, that's my man. It's like, I was with him when he was doing this. Now he up now. I'm so happy for him and stuff like that. Those types of friends. That's how I identify. But again, you're not going to meet somebody and be like, that's a true friend. Everything takes time. Everything takes time. In order for you to know somebody, you need to have time. And then as time goes, as situations occur, you're able to see how that person is through their character. And that's why I think how to identify a good friend. Don't think that you're going to meet somebody and you're all best friends for life. That's not how it works. But through time, you're going to go ahead and see this person's full character. And then that's when you're able to be like, dang, like, that's a good friend. That's a really good friend. And you'll be able to see that.
Yeah,
So
good
that's
things
all.
take time.
Yeah, good things take time. Anything that comes fast is not good. Trust. Anything that comes super fast will always go super fast
That
too.
the same speed out.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Finding that true friend is like very difficult for a lot of people. In terms of, I always have the saying where if you see someone, I actually learned this from my cat. People are scared of you, then you are scared of them. Just as or maybe more.
Yeah,
So approaching someone, don't like we have this like whole idea of like how they could be, this whole like limiting belief, that's what it is, and it limits us from wanting to meet people and even having a friend in the first place.
yeah,
So try to put yourself out there, try to first, how do I say this, you meet 100 people, 50 of them are good friends, 30 of them are really good friends, and maybe 2 of them are true deep
that's good.
meaning friends. So in order for you to find those true friends, really open your pool of people that you know and widen your search, and try to like be as social as you can be despite it being very uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's good. I was reading a book, and in the book, he said that you can have hundreds of acquaintances, and kind of like the analogy that you brought, but because you got to realize that you're always going to be appealing to somebody, regardless. It might not be everybody, but you're going to be appealing to someone. Somebody be like, oh, I like the way he talks. I like the way he acts. I like the way he thinks about situations, right? That you're going to be appealing to people. But the thing is, it's like, how many of those people are actually willing to go ahead and, like you said, be truly involved in your life? And in reality, it's not going to be that much. It's going to be a lot smaller. So the biggest thing would definitely have to be social. Go out, like expand your vision. Go meet more people. Go to, I know individual that goes to conventions in DC. He's like the only person there, brings nobody with him, and meets like 100 people there. Things that they're doing that he's also interested in doing. Now he meets 100 new friends, and now he's able to be like, okay, this person is not consistent in my life. I mean, I can talk to him, but not really involve him in my life like that. And then he's able to meet friends like that. So then the biggest thing is, like I said, stay off social media. That's not a real life, right? But instead go ahead and expand outwards in person, not online. Because unfortunately, like the example I said, a lot of people are not good online like they would be in person. So just meet people, network, and sooner rather than later, I think everybody has that friend that they will call, like, that's a true friend.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's really it.
There's somebody for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
There's somebody for everybody.
Yeah, I do believe in that ideology. There's somebody for everybody. You can take that in a friend way, in a relationship way, in a group way, but there's somebody for everybody. I truly believe that.
I like that. Yeah. I think that's all we have to say about what we were talking about. There's a tradition though. Before we head out, what is one piece of advice that you could give to anyone? Doesn't have to be about anything we were talking about. Just right now is the best window of time to give advice to as many people as you can. What is that advice?
My biggest advice, if I had to give anybody, would definitely be find a purpose where find a purpose where you are gonna excel at. And what I mean by that is don't try to do things that other people, what's working for others, but do things what works for you. And once you start moving in that way, once you realize that my parents want me to be a doctor, but I want to be a content creator or I want to be an editor, that's when you're going to really see who you are as a man or as a woman. And so I definitely would say find a purpose where you are truly engaged with. And that would be my advice for people.
That's a unique advice. Like, I've never heard of advice like that. That's good.
Yeah, because it can eliminate a lot of stress once you follow what you truly desire, Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. It eliminates a lot of stress. And people might not be happy about it, but at the end of the day, like I always say, you're living your life for you. Nobody's living your life for you. Nobody is going to know what you're going through. Nobody's going to know what you go home to. So move out, live out a purpose that is well-driven, but also that you enjoy, so that it can eliminate a lot of stress in your life. Trust. 10, 20 years from now, when you find your purpose, remember this.
Go back to this video, watch it.
Go back
and
to this
send it
video and
to
remember this.
your grandkids, your kids. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's really it. Minase, thank you a lot for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for coming. It means a lot. You gave
Yes, sir.
great advice.
Thanks for having me, man.
I'm sure a lot of men would, or young guys would, enjoy this. Comment, subscribe, like the video. Again, for the third time, thank you so much.
Yes,
I think
sir.
a lot of people would really like this. What do you want to have, like an outro? What do you want to say?
Know that people do care for you. You're all right. I'm 24 years old. Y'all might call me an unk, but I promise you that it's not what it seems like coming out of high school or even in college. It's not what it seems like. Just give it time. All things, time heals all wounds. I definitely believe in that. And most of all, have a faith, right? Have a faith in God. Have a faith in your family. Have a faith in your friends, and your life will flourish.
It's a perfect ending. Yeah, all socials are down below. Other than that, I'm going to see y'all soon. Peace out.
Peace.